Hello, everyone. Welcome to Buddha's and Wisdom, where we accompany you every day with insights and guidance for a healthier, more mindful life. How high does blood pressure have to be to cause a brain hemorrhage? Doctors warn, exceed this threshold and your entire body is at risk. Let me tell you a story about John, a 65-year-old man who always thought he was in great shape, until one day, during a family gathering, he suddenly collapsed. He was rushed to the hospital and diagnosed with a brain hemorrhage. What's even more shocking is that 3 years prior, during a routine checkup, John had been diagnosed with high blood pressure. At the time, his blood pressure was already dangerously high at 160 over 100 mmHg. His doctor repeatedly warned him, "Your blood pressure is way above the normal range. You need to control it immediately, or you're at a significantly higher risk of a brain hemorrhage or a heart attack in the future." The doctor advised John to monitor his blood pressure regularly, take his medication as prescribed, and make lifestyle changes. But John didn't take it seriously. He thought, "I feel fine. No headaches, no dizziness, no discomfort. Why should I take medication? Isn't it normal for blood pressure to be a little high as you age?" He ignored the doctor's advice, rarely took his blood pressure medication, and eventually stopped checking his blood pressure altogether. Why bother? I feel fine, he thought. Then, a few days ago, disaster struck. John was having a great time chatting and drinking with his old friends when suddenly, he felt the room spinning. His vision went dark and he collapsed unconscious. His family panicked and called 911. At the hospital, his blood pressure was measured at a staggering 180 over 110 mmHg. A CT scan confirmed a brain hemorrhage. The doctor solemnly explained to his family, "Uncontrolled high blood pressure is like constantly blasting high-pressure water through an old, fragile pipe. Over time, the pipe weakens, and if the pressure gets too high, it bursts." Thankfully, John survived after emergency treatment. But the doctor warned that even with successful treatment, he could face severe long-term consequences, such as paralysis, speech difficulties, or even being bedridden and unable to care for himself. The tragic part? All of this could have been avoided. Does high blood pressure always lead to a brain hemorrhage? Many people with high blood pressure worry, if my blood pressure is high, will I definitely have a brain hemorrhage? The answer is no, but the risk is significantly higher. It's not just high blood pressure that increases the risk. The aging of your blood vessels also plays a critical role. The older you get, the more fragile your blood vessels become, and the more likely they are to rupture under pressure. Two key factors that influence brain hemorrhage risk. 1. Age and blood vessel fragility. When you're young, your blood vessels are elastic and resilient. Even if your blood pressure spikes temporarily, your vessels can handle it without rupturing. But as you age, your blood vessels harden and lose elasticity, much like an old, rusty pipe. By the time you're in your 60s or 70s, even small fluctuations in blood pressure can cause a rupture. 30 to 40 years old, blood vessels are still relatively young and low risk. 60 to 70 years old, blood vessels lose elasticity, and the risk of rupture increases significantly. 2. Long-term high blood pressure. Think of your blood vessels like rubber bands. If you stretch them too hard for too long, they'll eventually snap. Even young people with consistently high blood pressure can experience accelerated blood vessel aging, increasing the risk of a brain hemorrhage. The bottom line, whether you're young or old, uncontrolled high blood pressure will weaken your blood vessels over time, making a brain hemorrhage more likely. High blood pressure is a silent killer. It damages your blood vessels without showing symptoms until it's too late. The silent killer. Why high blood pressure is so dangerous. Many people think, my blood pressure is a little high, but I feel fine. No headaches, no dizziness. I must be okay. But here's the scary truth. High blood pressure damages your blood vessels silently. By the time symptoms appear, the damage is often severe. Some people don't feel anything until they suddenly collapse from a brain hemorrhage. The hidden dangers of high blood pressure. 1. Damage to blood vessels. The higher your blood pressure, the more stress your blood vessels endure. Over time, the walls of your arteries thicken, harden, and may even become blocked. Even if you don't feel symptoms, your blood vessels are being damaged. A sudden spike in blood pressure can cause them to rupture, leading to a brain hemorrhage, stroke, or heart attack. 2. Damage to kidneys. High blood pressure can damage the blood vessels in your kidneys, leading to kidney failure or even dialysis. This risk is even higher for people with diabetes. 3. Damage to eyes. Long-term high blood pressure can cause retinal damage, leading to vision problems or even blindness. Studies show that 76% of people with high blood pressure develop some form of hypertensive retinopathy. 5 warning signs of an impending brain hemorrhage. According to Dr. Emily Carter, a neurologist at Mayo Clinic, a brain hemorrhage can strike without obvious symptoms, but there are often warning signs. If you notice any of these, seek medical attention immediately. 1. Severe headache. A sudden, intense headache, often described as the worst headache of your life. 2. Vomiting, caused by increased pressure in the brain. 3. Numbness on one side. Tingling or weakness in the face, arm, or leg, especially on one side of the body. 4. Vision problems, blurred vision, double vision, or temporary blindness. 5. Extreme fatigue, feeling unusually tired or drowsy, even after a full night's sleep. The 3 blood pressure danger zones. Doctors have identified 3 critical thresholds for blood pressure. 1. Pre-hypertension, 130-139 over 85-89 millimeters of mercury. You're not officially hypertensive yet, but you're close. This is your wake-up call to make lifestyle changes. Eat less salt, exercise more, and reduce stress. 2. Stage 1 to 2 hypertension, 140-159/90-99 mmHg. You're now in the danger zone. If your blood pressure stays above 160 over 100 mmHg, you're at high risk for a heart attack or stroke. Medication is usually necessary at this stage. 3. Stage 3 hypertension, 180/110 mmHg or higher. This is a medical emergency. At this level, your risk of a brain hemorrhage, heart attack, or kidney failure is extremely high. Seek immediate medical attention. 4 foods to avoid if you have high blood pressure. To prevent a brain hemorrhage, controlling your blood pressure is crucial. Here are 4 foods to cut from your diet. 1. Salt. Excess sodium raises blood pressure. Aim for less than 5 grams of salt per day. 2. Processed meats. Bacon, ham, and sausages are loaded with salt and preservatives. 3. Spicy foods. Foods like mustard or hot sauce can temporarily spike your blood pressure. 4. Grapefruit. If you're on blood pressure medication, avoid grapefruit. It can interfere with the drugs and increase their potency. Aspirin and high blood pressure. What you need to know. Many people with high blood pressure take low-dose aspirin to prevent heart attacks and strokes. However, if your blood pressure is above 160 over 100 mmHg, aspirin could increase your risk of a brain hemorrhage. Always consult your doctor before starting or stopping aspirin. Final thoughts. How to protect yourself from a brain hemorrhage. High blood pressure is a silent killer, but you can protect yourself by keeping your blood pressure below 140 over 90 mmHg, eating a low-salt, low-fat diet, exercising regularly, e.g., 30 minutes of brisk walking daily, taking your medication as prescribed, managing stress, and avoiding emotional triggers. If your blood pressure ever exceeds 180/110 mmHg, seek emergency care immediately. Thank you for watching, and we hope today's insights have been helpful. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to hit that button so we can continue to guide you on your journey to health and happiness. Let's grow together, stay well, and age gracefully. See you next time